Alright everyone, Bungie did the dirty on everyone recently and removed what is quite possibly the best hand cannon in the game for no apparent reason. It wasn't sunset and still has plenty of endgame potential for a number of seasons, so if you weren't lucky enough to snag a True Prophecy, you're in the right place as we look at the top 5 hand cannons you can get since True Prophecy was removed. So please subscribe if you're new, hit like too, and let's get into it. True Prophecy was set to become the meta this season, and technically it has. With its strong overflow rampage and opening shot rampage rolls, along with its archetype buff from a 110 to 120 RPM, it quickly became a popular choice. However, there was no direct farm for it, with plenty of RNG involved due to it only being earnable through legendary engrams from the world loot pool. Yet Bungie still took the unprecedented and quite frankly unpopular step to remove it from the loot pool during the first Iron Banner of Beyond Light. They replaced it with the underwhelming steady hand Iron Banner hand cannon from the same archetype but with very mediocre roll options. Luckily that isn't in our list today, so let's look at the top 5 hand cannons you should be chasing this season and how to get them. First up is another Iron Banner hand cannon though, and that's Crimils Dagger. This drops as endgame rewards during the Iron Banner or from Iron Banner engrams and does have some good perk rolls. Outlaw Kill Clip is an ever popular combination allowing for consistent 2 taps when reloading after a kill, and moving target with opening shot will help with its consistency. Rangefinder is also a top choice, and explosive payload will help with dealing with extra flinch on enemies. It's a really solid option and is the closest you'll get to True Prophecy in my opinion. The Old Fashioned is next up, but is possibly the most difficult to obtain on the list as it is imminently sunset at the end of this season and has a very low weight chance of dropping from the world loot pool. However, you may have some collecting dust in your vault, and with it no longer needing to compete with the now defunct 150 RPMs, this 140 hand cannon is better than ever. Feeding Frenzy with Kill Clip is a top option for consistency and speedy free taps. Slide Shot and Quick Draw are both in the 3rd perk column and can be paired with either Moving Target or Snapshot Sights in the 4th column for some incredibly snappy god rolls. Alternatively, Demolitionist and Explosive Payload round out the best perk options for those wanting a different playstyle. But with it being sunset in a little over a month, you may want to try your luck and hunt down an alternative 140, the ever popular Dire Promise. This previously 150 RPM hand cannon was top dog in PvP since its revival in Season of the Worthy, and it still has plenty of life left in it before it sunset out of the legendary engram world loot pool. The Dead Orbit themed hand cannon has a smaller perk pool than the similarly styled Old Fashioned, so it's definitely easier to get a god roll. Overflow and Swashbuckler is my go-to for an all-round solid option everywhere in the game. Any melee will proc a ×5 Swashbuckler buff, which is technically the highest weapon buff obtainable on a hand cannon. However, opening shot and snapshot sights are going to be favourites for any PvP connoisseur. Pair them with either Rangefinder for the bump to its range or even Elemental Capacitor for a god roll. Using a Void subclass with Elemental Capacitor will make this the most stable hand cannon outside 180s and is definitely a slept on perk. Speaking of 180s, Posterity is next on the list. The brand new raid hand cannon from the Deepstone Crypt is my favourite since Luna's Howl and not forgotten were sunset. 180s still have the worst time to kill of any hand cannon in the game, but they are easily the most consistent due to their precision frame and high stability that they offer. Feeding Frenzy and Reconstruction are great perks in the 3rd column, and paired with either Rampage or One for All, it offers a solid workhorse of a roll no matter where you take it. Rapid Hit and Surplus can help bump up the stability to the max, with Demolitionist and Redirection being great perks for PvE too. This weapon does drop from the 3rd encounter in the Deepstone Crypt, but once you've obtained it you can farm the first secret chest for further drops, or use the Spoils of Conquest to obtain further rolls from the cache at the end of the raid. Last, but by no means least, Ancient Gospel. The Garden of Salvation raid hand cannon is somewhat trickier to come by, but it has the smallest, most concise perk pool out of all the hand cannons, with the vast majority of combinations being top tier. Rapid Hit and Outlaw paired with either Kill Clip or Swashbuckler are the god rolls, but even Dragonfly can make the list too. It's easily the best feeling 140 out there at the minute, and if it wasn't locked behind an RNG wall of arguably the worst encounter in the Garden of Salvation, you'd probably see more of them around, but if you fancy tracking one down, it'll definitely be worth it. Fortunately, the sandbox in Destiny 2 is in a pretty sweet spot right now, with a lot of weapons able to hold their own in all types of content. This is just my list of hand cannons you could use if you missed out on a true prophecy, but there are a few more that can work too, especially a few exotics. I hope you enjoyed this top 5 guide. If you did, a like down below would really help me out, and please subscribe if you're new. That's it for this one though, so on that, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.